Okay, I want to say thank you for joining me. Thanks, guys. Hi. Thank you for joining me. This is another art video. In this video, we're covering some more tips on how to sketch figures, just showing some of my methods of doing it. So, by the way, I'd be really grateful to you guys if you would subscribe to my Patreon and become a patron on Patreon as well. It's only $4 and you're going to get loads and loads of content, okay, on Patreon, okay? It's a Silo Sketch on Patreon. So, okay, let's have a check in it. Let's have a look again. So, basically, we're starting the new year with some new art videos here. And again, so let's look at those triangle shapes I was showing you before. Doing a triangle type shape followed by like a diamond that overlaps it. For a wider one here for the hips, and you can, as I say, make that like as I say, a diamond as well, kind of diamond shape. So we've got like an upside down kind of kite, and then a triangle, a smaller triangle, where this line is the shoulder line, and then what you have is an imaginary hip line here. You can draw it in if you wish to, but it's got to be wider, okay? It's got to be wider than the top one, because the hips are wider in female characters, please excuse me, is what I'm saying, okay, here. So that's what we've basically got there, okay, for the character. So this female character. Now, what we would really like to have, though, we'd like to see this, and you imagine the spine down the middle, and the circle for the head you can just do, with a cross for the face, to show like where the eye line is, and the middle line for the nose, to show direction. But what I'm going to show you now is we covered that in another video. I'm going to look at it on another way. So let's do that more loosely again from the front, and just look at what I'm doing. Okay, I'm doing a rough shape here, just drawing in. Okay, that's all these little artifacts, please excuse me. And I'm going to draw it from different angles too. So I'm going to draw it like from the top. Okay, let's imagine we're looking at it like this now. It's not going to be perfect. It's like a rough thing. You see, but I'm just imagining now that this is like some kind of 3D shape, and we got this. We can see the hip socket and the shoulder socket. If you understand what I'm saying here, the hip socket, and the shoulder socket. You see, just clean it up a little bit there, and you can see now what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so you got this here. The other sockets are on the other side. Okay, and you'd have this center line down the front. That's not really the spine line. The spine line would be more inside, I'd say. Let's see, from the top part. I mean, okay, you can say a neck socket also would be, a neck socket would be on top there, you see. And we've got this point, as I say, this point that goes to the middle, see. And I didn't really draw the breasts in, but that line would go down between the breasts. Let me just make that faint for a second. Not make you faint. I'm not trying to show you gruesomeness here, but let me just turn this down. You can imagine now how the breast would sit, you know. The breasts here. You can imagine two breasts like that. It looks like, I don't know, Marge Simpson's breasts. Not the way I'm doing this, but you know what you'd do is you'd put like the stick lines in for the arms if you wanted to, just for quickness. You know, you can work your legs in, whatever. The other leg will be on the other side, right? So you can imagine that. So we're doing this character, you see, from this angle side, see, view. The hips should be really wider on a female, as I say. I've kind of done it rough, but you know, it's okay because it's just a rough starting point anyway, you see, because you're going to draw on top of them. That's the whole point. Now, when you draw from the hips, by the way, of female hips, when you're doing that, I'm just doing it my way of how I do this. Okay, here, I'm going to have this private part down there and a line down the middle. When you do that, that's not a wang. That's meaning a mistake. It's my own terminology. But that's when you do that. Okay, you can have the lines starting from the sides here. Okay, like where the hips are. Makes sense, right? However you're going to have them posed, it doesn't really matter how you have them posed. You can have it like that. It's up to you, right? But basically, you could even do little curvy lines like that. It's up to you, you know. But the idea, or you can have it one straight and then one maybe behind. It's up to you, okay? But the point I'm trying to say is, you could start from the middle here, if you wanted to, and just start from there rather than here, okay? It's not much of a deal. Put little dots for the knees, you've got little markings so you know about halfway down, you know, lines for the feet. Arms, similar thing, elbows here, then down to here, then about where the groin is where the hand would fall. But it works because the reason this works, okay, I'll tell you why, is because when you do the legs, you don't want to make them too fat necessarily, but you know, when you draw your character in, as I say, remember there's a line just under the armpits where the top of the breasts start, and you do the breasts like that and you meet it all in, curve out, curve in and then out where the hips are. There's a line that goes down with the privates. What you're going to have, okay, when you do that, it curves like this, and then you come slightly out for the thighs. Make them kind of thinner if you want to see it, and then do that in, that there. I'm just showing my ways of doing things, by the way, guys. It's not the best art, as I say. Doing the knees there. You know, you can do that. You can do the muscle, a bit in the back of the calf there, show a bit of that, and then make it curve in slightly. It's a bit too strong, I think, near that. But I'm just basically just covering the basic thing. I think I've already overdone it really on that, so it should be like more thinner. Yeah, that's about right. A bit rough, but right. You see, I'm not going to do the other leg, but you get the idea, okay? And that is what you get. So you work it based off of that, okay? And you obviously have your like belly button and everything in there. Got to have your belly button, you know. At the top of the rib cage, you might have it slightly like that. See, at the bottom of the rib cage, sorry. The hips, you know. So you'd have that with your shoulders, you know, and everything. You draw your character in, do some like thin arms. You're not going to necessarily have really muscly arms on a female. You're not going to have that necessarily. I'm just doing a really rough one, a little indentation where the neck part is there. The shoulder lines go across, and then the little thin neck goes up there. And you do that. You might want to start with the head. It's up to you. But I'm just covering a few basics, okay? So we're going to stop this video in a moment. I'm just showing you a few things how I'd work some of these shapes, okay? So do some lines there. You see, same sort of thing. The neck would be up, going up here. The face would be up there. You see, we're just working it all out. So that's going down there. As I say, I'm really not great at anatomy, but I'm just doing what I can. So do study the anatomy, definitely, okay? You know, do look at anatomy and stuff like that. Just got to go in here, got to remember where everything is. You know what I mean? A bit at the back side there, it goes down to the thigh. You know, and you just work it out as you go. So I'm not doing the best job here, as you can see, but you know, you got the idea, right? And you just work these shapes out based on some of this stuff we've got there. So if I just move that out quickly, you'll see some of these shapes that we got. And I'll say thank you for watching, and hopefully you can join me again in the next video, guys. And thank you very much for watching. Okay, thank you very much. See you in the next video.